Namaste, everyone. This is Prerna Vaswani, founder of Prerna Spreading Inspiration. A very warm welcome to you on my podcast platform, where we bring you powerful, inspiring journeys, meaningful conversations, researches, and voices that are created real impact in the world. At Prerna Spreading Inspiration, our mission is simple but very deep to inspire, to uplift, and to give a voice journeys that can transform the way we think, live, and grow. So, what if the power to heal humanity already exists beneath our feet? What if something as natural as Earth's elements could become a lifeline for the cancer patients? So, today's conversation is not about science, it's about purpose, innovation, and turning nature into hope. So today, I'll invite our special guest, Miss Dusya ma'am, and let's welcome her first. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Perna. Good to see you. Good to be here.
Thank you so much. So, friends, I would like to introduce her. Dusya ma'am is a PhD researcher in nuclear medicine, working as the intersection of clean energy, advanced materials, and real world innovation. She serves as a global ambassador at IPRA Tech AG, contributes to the Thorium network, supporting safer nuclear energy pathways, and is also involved in ethical blockchain based tokenization of natural resources through ordinal gold. And her work beautifully connects science, sustainability, and global impact. So, bringing together governments, industries, and innovations to create real change. So, Dusya ma'am, a very warm welcome to you on our podcast platform.
Thank you very much.
So, ma'am, it's really a unique topic, and really it was wonderful for me to understand this topic. And I can say it will create a great impact to the society and especially the cancer patients. So I would like to know that from the earth beneath our feet to saving human lives. So your journey is truly extraordinary. So what inspired you to start this and turn elements, that natural elements like thorium into life-saving cancer treatments? So your insights, please.
Well, I have to admit, I was not even aware of thorium at least until 2020, so 2020. Before that, I was in the medical science field. I was studying medical sciences. And at the same time, my academic advisor suggested to challenge me and said, you did like everything I was saying, said, you already know all this. We need to challenge you. You need something different. And coincidentally, my academic advisor suggested me to take different classes, different courses in college, including engineering. And engineering is where I got introduced to nuclear energy, although that was not on in our syllabus. I just uh, I just discovered nuclear energy while I was doing research for geothermal energy. To be honest with you, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to take a look at it. My professor at that time was not happy with me, but I decided I can look on like I'm just the internet. I can look at whatever I want. So, and I'm just doing my research. And my professor keeps saying, nuclear is not on the syllabus. You do not, this is not what you're supposed to write the paper on. And I said, that's fine. I just want to, okay, may I look at it for my own curiosity? I mean, I'm in class. And my professor couldn't do anything about that. So I was looking at it and I looked at nuclear energy and I thought, wow, this, I have to look more. And I love to go deep into everything. And coincidentally, at the same time, I found the website of the Thorium Network, and I reached out to them. I also looked at different videos from different nuclear experts in the United States and so forth. And I realized this is it. And because when I was in medical sciences, I was looking for different strategies to help people who had cancer, but chemotherapy, radiation, all of those therapies, I've seen so many side effects with them, and although I would keep talking to doctors because I was also working in the medical field, and I would keep asking them, "Is there really nothing else out there?" And they would look at me like I was crazy. So I gave up at talking to my colleagues, and so I just decided I'm going to do the research on my own. And so I looked at his videos because I learned really hands on and by watching videos and listening. And so I was looking up everything on nuclear energy, and I realized, wow, there are so many benefits to cancer treatment. So many. I could not even, seriously, I was so excited. And as I said, I found the Thorium Network website. I looked at it and I thought, oh my goodness, why is nobody talking about this? That was my reaction. And to me, I thought, why is nobody at university even talking about this? I saw so many amazing things on that website. And to me, I know this sounds shy, but I still love Disney. I still love Disneyland. I don't care what anybody says, but I love Disneyland. And for me, that website, when I looked at it, and I instantly thought about, okay, what they possibly may be doing in the laboratory, and I thought, this is a Disneyland for scientists. This is amazing. Why is no science professor at the University of Harvard talking about why? And I honestly, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So, but I just decided I'm going to send a message to the website. I'm just going to, whoever answers, I didn't even know what I wanted to say. I don't know. I just wanted to tell them, I think what you guys are doing amazing. I think the entire world should know about it. They don't yet. And I don't know. Maybe I said something more. I have no idea. And so I just wrote the message. And the next thing I know, the president reached out directly and said hello, and I was shocked. I thought, okay, hello, hello back. And so I and the president, we had a short conversation. I talked about my background, and the president just said, you know what, you're welcome to join as a volunteer if you want. And I said, okay, but I have no idea what you guys are doing. I mean, I'm new to this. I was studying medical science. I said, just join. You learn hands on. You can just research articles, and you could just help with social media. And the person was just speaking my language at that point because that's how I learned. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And as I mentioned, coincidentally at the same time, my academic advisor, it was like all happening at the same time, although my academic advisor had no idea what I was doing. And my academic advisor, after I finished my engineering course, my academic advisor said, I think you should go into biotech. And I had no idea where this was going. Said, okay, what's your idea? Well, let's discuss this. And the biotech is where you belong. And again, I would think, okay, I don't know. Okay, tell me more about that. And he said, well, there's different fields. There's nuclear. There's like nuclear related, nuclear energy and everything. Like whatever you want to do in biology, you can use that in nuclear energy and so forth. And some other fields and that they study. And I thought, this man has no idea what I was doing, and he was talking about what I was doing, and said, okay, let's do this. And so I started biotech, and I would keep learning what I was. So I would keep comparing what I was doing in my research when I was writing articles for the Thorium Network. And I realized the more I was learning from the Thorium Network, I realized, why are we not covering this in class? Why are we not covering this in regarding nuclear medicine and other fields? And I was talking to my professor about this, and my professor said, we don't really do that. Okay, why? And he said, "Oh, there's like regulations, and like the United States, like he was being very vague, but we don't really do that." And he said, "You can do research, you can do science, you can do it in the laboratory, you can do testing in the laboratory, but we don't go further." Okay, that's fair. So I decided I'm going to go with the research in laboratory, and I cannot tell you. I did so much research in laboratory nuclear medicine. The more I was reading about the thorium molten salt that is used for nuclear energy, and I realized, okay, this thorium molten salt, and never mind watching the videos of the president. I mean, I watched his videos on YouTube, and when he was talking about this little little pizza, like white pizza salt that I mean, he was like showing salt, but he said this is what it looks like in thorium. And I thought, okay, I have to do research on it. I have to read, like, I have to look at everything that this guy is talking about. And I look at this website, like, okay, that's interesting. So I went at, I mean, people keep telling me don't go down the rabbit hole. From my point of view, I was not going down the rabbit hole. You're talking about something, I want to do more research. I want to know why you're talking about it and why it's so amazing. And so I look at the thorium modern side, I did research on it, and then I started using that in the laboratory. And the oh my gosh, the research I did, I mean, the graphs that I was able to use to see my progress in the research, they were amazing. I mean, that would be an understatement. And I realized that those thorium molten salt can be used for cancer treatments. And when I started doing the research, I thought, this is so obvious. This is so obvious. And so I just kept doing the research. I kept doing my journal, like writing everything, all everything that I was analyzing. I had someone assist me. I was then doing it on my own. And the more I did, the more I realized, okay, I have so much paperwork showing evidence Thorium model salt can be used for cancer treatments. And at some point, I was talking to my professor about this, and I was able to do my master's. I went the paper for the master's. I went the paper for the doctorate, and I kept raising these papers. And my professor said, "We just stop doing that." I just I'm sorry. And he said, "Dusya, stop doing that. You cannot write two doctorate papers for one thing." And I tried to apply, but I couldn't help it. I'm just so excited about it. And he said, okay,
Wonderful.
and yeah, and at some point, he said, okay, besides that, yes, you can do that, but please moderate it. But yeah, and that's how I got into
Yes, yes.
thorium.
Wow, that's really, I can say it was really truly inspiring journey. And I think it beautifully sets the foundation for everything that we are going to explore today. So now building on that journey,
Mhm.
let us help our audience understand the real world impact of this work. So I would like to understand that in hospitals today, how are these medical isotopes used with the advanced technology to both detect and precisely
Mhm.
treat diseases like the cancer?
Mhm. So here's the thing. Because we have to focus on regulations, as my professor said. I did respect that, and I also studied law. So I was looking at insurance, I was looking at regulations federally, and also because I was part of our network, I looked at the regulation internationally because I want to understand the difference. And so when I was looking at the regulations for the hospitals in the United States, for example, especially in Massachusetts, where I'm from, the thing is, we are allowed to use radiation and chemotherapy. Those are the most common therapies for cancer treatment. But as I mentioned, they both have side effects. With chemotherapy, and I have to say, I just wanted to put it out there, there's a lot of how should I put this? There's a lot of disagreements on the side effects. However, my personal experience has been, and I'm not saying personal experience because I had that treatment, but but my experience with patients that I had was that their immune system was weakened. Okay, so they because the immune system because of the chemotherapy, they would lose weight. Other things would happen that I do not want to go into because I don't want to scare people. But the most profound one is that their immune system would be so weak that they could not be around anybody who had a cold or was sneezing. That was out of the question because I remember very clearly this. Because this was my first shocking experience in medical field. I had once a cancer patient. I don't know, I was in my 20s. I was my early 20s or something. And this woman, she was a young woman, I don't know, in the 30s maybe. And she was getting chemotherapy. And so there was me, and there was a nurse with us. And she was asking about somebody who was coming to visit her who had a cold. And the nurse said, "Oh yeah, that's fine. They can visit you, no problem. No, yeah, you're patient here." And something in me, I had a feeling that was not true. I had a feeling, but I decided, no, I'm a student. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's how it was told to me, at least. And this patient had somebody visitor who had a cold, and a few days later, she passed away. So, and I had then another experience similar to that, and then I realized, okay, something is wrong now. They have a very weak immune system. That's a side effect. That's not good. They should be able to, when you're getting any kind of cancer treatment, you should be able to enjoy life the best you can. You should be able to meet with your friends. You should be able to meet with your family. But chemotherapy is so, I want to say, rigid, that you can only be around people if they're not sneezing, they're not you can, and I thought that was horrible. And with radiation, you don't necessarily maybe have immune issues, but your skin, there's a skin problem. And so there's again another issue, and there's not really medications that can stop that, who can stop the side effects. And again, there are medications for certain cancers, but they only help you. They only help. They don't heal you. They don't stop the cancer, but they just make you feel comfortable, so you have less pain. But again, it maybe helps the patient maybe to 20%, 30%. But again, I remember seeing another person who had cancer. They were taking that particular medication, and still they they were having pain if they didn't get any medication. And so I read, okay, there must be something else out there. And so when I saw the chemotherapy and radiation, I thought, okay, the doctors can say whatever they want, but there has to be something out there. And that's why I looked at Dory Modern Saw, because I want to say, okay, I'm not expecting a miracle, honestly. I mean, okay, and people say we don't do magic. Okay, I don't expect miracles. I don't expect magic. But I want to see if there's a medication that can um, that can be used for patients, whether it's in pill form. In pill form, I personally don't agree with it, because the pill does not the tablet, it does not go straight into where the cancer is. And the chemotherapy, it goes it I mean, it's very invasive. It goes inside your body, but it's very invasive. It destroys the immune system. Radiation therapy again is different. The tablet, it goes into your body, but it takes time until it goes to where it needs to go. But with thorium salt,
Yes.
you could. My idea is, even if not in pill, even not tablet form, but my idea is that you could use like they use bags, like when you watch TV shows, they have bags, oxygen bags. My idea is, and my experience has been, that that's the most effective way of healing somebody. When you put the toy monster, when you use, considering all the regulations that need to be in place, you can use that substance in the bag, like a symmetry oxygen bag, to put into a patient's veins, and it goes in directly where it needs to go, because the needle. And I know people don't like needles. I know that. I respect that as well. But the needle, it can go directly where it needs to go, and does the work, if you will. And again, that's not allowed in the United States. I respect that, but that I noticed with lab rats. I did this with different kind of rats, different mice. It went straight. It just went straight. And I would use other laboratory animals. It just went straight. And of course, I was analyzing. I was just doing my writing everything in. I used to write. Oh my god, I used to write so much. It was ridiculous. I would just write all my observations, how much a milligram I was giving them, what I was doing there, my observation, how the rest were reacting, and there were so many things were happening. Everybody in the laboratory would say, "Calm down, just calm down." I couldn't, like, come on, you have to. I mean, I know I was very excited. I was trying to ground myself, but I mean, come on. If this mouse is able to be alive, why can't we do this with a million other people? Why can't we do this? And yeah, that's why I see that. Although, I mean, I do have acquaintances who have used chemotherapy, and for some of them, they went through it. That's fine. I'm happy for them. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm happy for them. But I know that they had a strong immune system. I mean, maybe they were fortunate, maybe they were able to accommodate their life around chemotherapy, but generally speaking, radiation, I personally am not in favor of chemotherapy. I know that that's the best solution at this point, but I'm just talking from experience. I'm not saying, oh, I don't like it, radiation or chemo because I don't like it. No, no. I'm saying this because I've seen this as a medical professional. I've also looked at research in laboratories, and I just not like. I made at this point. I'm going to say I did not like it. I want to improve it, and this thorium monoxide, it does the trick. It's not the right word to use it, but for the sake of this conversation, it does the trick.
Yes. And yes, I can say that chemotherapy is very much painful. I can say it's mentally and physical, both it's very much painful. And you have explained wonderfully in a very simple language. And that's so insightful. And it really helps us connect the science with what actually happens in the patient life. And once we understand this impact, the naturally curiosity is how does this transformation even happen? So I would like to know that how exactly do you convert thorium from natural minerals into these powerful medical isotopes?
Okay, so you, when I was doing my research in laboratory, I would use the thorium molten salt. Like they have to be in the state. Everything has to be safely regulated because it's thorium. Okay, that it's safely regulated. Of course, I had to be. We have when we do this kind of research, often we have to be in. How should I don't want to say incubators, but I would be in laboratories. I would be in let's say rooms of laboratory where I had to wear a special outfit to protect myself from radiation, which is fair. And so when I would do that research, I would often be wearing those uniforms. I actually have pictures of those. So I showed to my friends. Um, but I would wear a special I can't remember what it's called, but I would wear like special white thing. Like I would put it on, then put gloves, special gloves on, do my hand washing, all the procedure, all the special protection procedure that we had to do in the laboratory. And I would do that. I would even put my mask on if necessary, but depending on how regulated our laboratory it was. But I would do that, and I would put that. I would have a mice. I would do it in the laboratory. I would use the needles, and I would do the research. I would even look under them. I would use the microscopic view as well, because sometimes you should be using the laboratory. You shouldn't be using animals as much. You should be able to look if under a microscope is going to work, because that's the first step that we do. If it works under a microscope, then we can look at actual mice and whatnot. And so I would just do that in the laboratory. I would be there. Seriously, I think I'm at the point where I probably would stay there without sleeping. I just, but anyways, I would do that. We would do it heavily regulated under heavy regulatory systems to do the, how should I put this? Okay, I'm gonna use medical language. To examine the specimens and do the research in the laboratory in the especially safe environment to make sure that the thorium salt is actually doing the work. I don't want to go into too many detail because that would be like uh, letting everybody know what we do in the laboratory, but I'm just giving you the general idea. I prefer to do that. As my whole professor is going, what like,
Wonderful.
Dusya, what are you doing? Because I couldn't do that.
Yes, and really, from your point of view and from your explanation, it's really amazing to think that something from the earth can go through such a powerful transformation.
Mhm.
And we'll step further. So, what makes thorium-based isotopes a more precise or promising approach compared to the traditional cancer treatments?
As I mentioned, clay molten salt is painless. You barely feel it. So if you were to inject into a patient, the patient would barely feel it. The patient could be watching TV or doing anything, and they would barely feel it. The thorium molten salt, it would go straight into the cancer, And here's the thing: the cancer, it lives off of sugar, it lives off of insulin, it lives off of the carbonated the carbs that we have in our body, or the poison. It's like it's food for the cancer. And the thorium molten salt, this particular salt, it would go into the cancer cell and remove everything that the cancer cell lives off of, and would starve the cancer cell. So the person, you could be watching TV, you could be doing anything you want, the body would barely feel it. You'll be just doing whatever you're doing, and the cancer cell, the cancer will be the only parts of your body that would actually know that something's happening, because it's being starved of its food, if you will. It's being starved of it. And when you do that, I know a lot of scientists will say it's not that simple. I know it's not that simple. I'm just giving you a general idea of how it looks like. The cancer will be starved of it, and it will. I'm not going to say that it takes a month. I'm not going to say that this is like a treatment plan. I mean, depending on the country you're in, and ensuring the international regulations, it will probably take, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, depending on what every country will decide. But you could take the treatment, and it will just literally remove everything from the cancer cell, remove everything, or even kill the cancer cell, because the cancer cell itself, a lot of doctors in the United States, you can't just kill the cancer cell. I beg to differ. I beg to differ respectfully. I feel like I'm obsessed with the subject, but honestly, you can remove. I know there are a lot of people who say, okay, it's not that simple, you blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know. But technically, you can inject that thorium salt into the cancer cell, and remove everything that the cancer cell lives off of. Everything. It will take month, 2 months, couple months. Yes, but you can remove it. You can. It's like you see a lot of documentaries. Like you put a needle into something, and it removes and either the cancer explodes, but you don't even feel it. You don't even. And you could be just having a cup of coffee or whatever you're drinking, and the cancer will be just die. The cancer could just die.
Wow.
That's the idea.
Wonderful. And I can say that it's truly a magic because we have seen many cancer patients who are suffering a lot with the pains and all. And while having coffee or something, and if the cancer goes away, it would be really like a divine magic, I can say. And the level of precision truly feels like a breakthrough
Mm-hmm.
in how we are approaching healing. And Dusya ma'am, just looking at the bigger picture beyond this treatment, so since thorium comes from the natural resources, so do you see this as a more sustainable or scalable future for the healthcare?
Absolutely, absolutely. And here's my thing. I do understand that if some people say we want to keep chemo radiation, that's their choice. I mean, it's not going to go away. I understand that, and I'm not saying let's remove all of that and just keep thorium. No, I'm not going to do that. That's the same thing like saying let's remove this kind of, let's remove all the vegetables and only keep the meat. I know that's not a good comparison, but I would do that comparison, because some people will say that the chemotherapy saved their life. I'm not going to argue with them, because I believe that, because everybody has a different immune system. And
Yes.
however, because everybody has different immune system that's unique to us, you can't chemotherapy cannot be used on everybody, and radiation cannot be used on everybody. If there are people who do not have a reaction, a side effect of skin reaction from the radiation, congratulations, I'm happy for you. I'm genuinely happy for you. If you do not have an immune issue from the chemotherapy, if you're still able to do whatever you want, if you do not have remission, and remission is when people so I'm not using the right word anymore, I'm using jargon a lot, but I know that there are patients who went to chemotherapy or radiation, the cancer went away, and then it comes back. If it did not come back for you, I'm genuinely happy for you. Genuinely, if you were able to spend time with your family, you're able to meet your grandkids, I'm happy for you. I'm honestly from the bottom of my heart. But not everybody has that situation. Not everybody's able to. I'm with Thorium Molten Salt. You would not have that situation where after 2 years or I don't know how many, then suddenly, oh, the cancer's back. You would not have that. Even and that even is something that I am very strongly supportive of, obviously, because still there's a lot of cancer treatment where you still have to go to a doctor and double check and make sure that your cancer's not coming back. Again, some people say I'm cancer free since 5, 10 years. Congratulations on the congratulations. But then there are other people, the cancer came back. Those
Yes.
people are the people who I want to focus on. I want to help them. And you can say, okay, why are you doing this? Yes, I admit I had two people in my life who died of cancer. However, also because I worked with cancer patients, I saw it. I seriously, I don't want to say, I shouldn't say it like this, but I had the first in front view at the theater, if you will, of what happens to cancer patients. And so that's why I want to help people. I've seen what they go through, and because of that, I want to help them. If you, and honestly, I mean, I'm not, and I know some people say, what are you trying to do? Win the Nobel Prize? That's not about it. Honestly, I mean, if you want to give me that, thank you, but that's not about it. I want people to be out there. I want people, anybody for mother, father, I want them to be able to see their kids growing up. I want them. There's so many people say, "My, I want to see my grandkids. I want to see my kids go graduating school. I want that. I want to take pictures of them when they graduate university. I want to see them when they get married. I want to see them when they have when they make me a grandparent." Every parent wants that, and I know that I'm not able to make that possible for everybody. But if I can make uh, that possible for the first 10 people, I already wanted life. If I make it possible for the next 20 people, next 100 people, thank you. That's all I want. I just want these people to have the same opportunity that everybody else does. That's all.
That's really great, Dusya ma'am. And yes, so I would like to know that you have mentioned that thorium helped the cancer cells that dies. So is it the cancer cell does not revoke back like the chemotherapy multiple times that cancer sometimes comes back. So
Yeah,
in thorium, so if you are treating with the thorium, so it will not come back.
that's the idea. Yes, that's what I'm working on. Yes, because when you
Wonderful.
remove when you because the thing is, and every medical professional will tell you this, the cancer is alive because it gets food. Okay, it gets food. Like we are all are living organisms, all of us. We are all
Yes.
our organs. I won't say organ, but everything, every cell in our body is a living organism and it needs food. We feed it when we put nutrition. We feed our body with water and vegetables and meat. And the cancer cells, they feed off of what is not good for our body. They feed off of it. And so when we remove what we feed, when we kill the cell and remove all the food that it gets, then it's dead. That's the idea of throwing mods on. Yeah, that's what I that's at least that's what I'm working on. That's my research.
Wow. That would be really wonderful if this treatment gets successful, and I'm sure the world will get a great treatment for cancer patients without any pain. So it's really incredible to see that how innovation today is not just about the results, but it's about the responsibility towards our planet. And with such a powerful materials comes with great responsibility. And yes, your work is also connects to safer nuclear energy pathways. How do you ensure safety and ethical responsibility while working with such powerful materials?
Regulations and security. I mean, you cannot do anything whether I mean, seriously, I do not. I decide. Obviously, I did not pursue the engineering part of nuclear. I decided to stay in the medical field, in medical research. But whether you're doing engineering, whether you are building nuclear power plants, or whether you're doing something medical, it's all regulated. It's all regulation, and it just really depends on what country you're in, and safety measures. We have safety protocols for everything, and I do respect that. They may be a little different, slightly different for every country, which is fine. But as long as you focus on safety regulations, and also the thing is that people say the radiation is dangerous, here's the thing: we all have radiation in our body. We all, even and I have to confirm. I have to concur with the Thorium network. Even the food we eat has radiation, so we cannot live without even just a teeny tiny bit of radiation. But it's the bigger radiation idea, like how much more. And I hate numbers. I'm not going to go into numbers. Some people. I passed mathematics with flying colors. No idea how I did it, but I'm not going to go into my numbers. But there's safety regulations for radiation, because everybody knows what happened in Chernobyl and all that. But that is only half. On That's only 20% of actually what happened. But we all need radiation in our body. It's like because, especially, I mean, sun is radiation. Okay, the sun is radiation as well. The sun's radiation. Okay, like we get
Yes.
sunburned. We don't get sunburned just because our skin is like that. But the sun is radiation, so we all have radiation in our body. But depending on the amount of radiation, that's what matters. Okay, and so I'm not gonna use the DNA as an example, but let's just take the alphabet, okay, from A to Z. So if you remove the Z, or if you remove the last two letters of the alphabet, you have the right amount of radiation to do treatments, or to even use the nuclear energy to create clean energy. Either way, it's the same thing. Same thing. Because again, as I mentioned throughout this conversation, the thorium molten salt has a certain amount of radiation, but if you remove at least two letters, there's no danger. There's no air pollution. Your body feels good. Seriously, and I'm going to compare this with swimming, because I love swimming. I love swimming passionately. When I go into the pool, I feel I can breathe again. I mean, yes, oxygen's all around me, but I can breathe again. The same thing with thorium molten salt. Whether you're getting treatments from it, or whether you're using it for electricity, engineer, you can breathe. It's so clean. It's ridiculously clean, because you remove
Wow.
two letters from the alphabet. You have the alphabet A to Z. You remove two letters, because if you use the entire alphabet, of course, it's an issue. But if you remove at least two letters, you don't have any issues at all. You can use it for anything, whether it's for farming, whether it's for medical purposes, medical isotopes, or for electricity. Like, because you put the nuclear power plant somewhere on the farm, the animals love it. They don't even know it's around. They can eat the grass. They can be happy. Everything is great. Just remove two letters, two from the whole spectrum.
That's really insightful, Dusya ma'am. And yes, you have explained so simply, and I think the audience who are watching us, definitely they would have also understand your research point. And alongside your research, you are also working on the ethical blockchains based tokenization of natural resources. So, how does this innovation connect science with global accessibility and transparency?
Hmm. So, um, I okay. Here's the thing. When I was working in the medical field, I don't work in the medical field anymore. But when I was working in the medical field, there was constant issues regarding. Okay, in the United States, or at least in Massachusetts, where I'm from, there's the word we use the word HIPAA, which means confidentiality of patient information. There's not exact wording, but the general idea is patient
Yes,
confidentiality. And the idea is that when you are a patient at the hospital, or like, okay, not, let's forget medical practice, but medical hospital, you want your information to be safe. You want only the people to see the information who are your medical staff. Everybody who's taking care of your treatment are the only people who are supposed to see your medical information, nobody else. However, there's often in any hospital, and I'm going to say in any hospital around the world, there's always some kind of mistake. There's always there's nothing. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. There's always some kind of security issue. With blockchain technology, you have the key to your medical information. Let's go first with medical stuff, okay? So you have the key. You create the key with blockchain technology. It's like you go to a website, Okay, you go to a website. You can do it on your phone, on your laptop. Doesn't matter because everybody around the world has a phone and a laptop, no matter where you are. So you go into that blockchain technology. So the idea is that you put in your information, um, every information that you need, and you create a key. Metaphorically speaking, create a key, and you're the only one who has that key with your information, with your personal information. If you decide to share with your family, that's your choice. That's your responsibility. But then you share that key with the medical professionals who are taking care of you, and nobody else. Nobody can see that information. It's like when you have a password to your computer, nobody knows your password except you, so you're only able to access your information. And if your colleagues or somebody has the password, that's because you gave it to them. The same thing with the medical information with blockchain technology. You have that key, and the only people who get access to it is your family. That's your responsibility, obviously. And then the medical doctor, the medical professional who are taking care of you, they have that key as well. Nobody else. Nobody else. Nobody can open that. The same like with passports. That's the idea. And with blockchain technology, some people say that it's really cumbersome and blah blah blah. Okay, I just want to say this, okay? And everybody keeps judging me for that, and I don't care at this point. I've been using computers since I was okay. I don't know if toy computers count, but in school at least, I started using a computer when I was 7 years old because it was part of the school curriculum. However, we started using passwords since the 1990s, something like that. I hated it. I thought, why do you have to use passwords? Why? This is obnoxious. Why do I have to? And even today, I hate passwords with the password. I seriously, every time someone tells me to use a password, like, really? Like, I hate passwords. But passwords are the only way that you can access your information. If I have the password to my emails and so forth, nobody has else access to it, and unless I give it to them. However, passwords can get hacked because of cybersecurity, because of cyber nonsense. I'm going to use the word cyber nonsense. With blockchain technology, the cyber nonsense will not even happen. They're not. I don't want to say they're not smart enough, although I personally think they're not smart enough. But the blockchain technology is so. I personally think it's obnoxiously safe because I hate it personally. But it's so secure. It's so secure that even anybody who's in cyber, they'll it will put them in a coma. So I shouldn't say that, but it's so obnoxious that you have to try to figure things out, and nobody has that much patience. I mean, I used to watch crime shows, and I know no criminal has that much patience. So with blockchain technology, your information is so secure. It may be obnoxious, yes, I agree because I think it's obnoxious, but it's top notch secure that nobody can then not even no cyber criminal can even get access to it, no matter what they're trying to do. Only the person who you give the key to. And that's the best part about blockchain technology. And 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 that's why we're using that also with money, like with tokens. The same thing. You open an account with blockchain technology to pay for something. Right now, we use PayPal. We have bank accounts, yes, but still, not everybody has a bank account because of federal rules around the world. Some people cannot get a passport, and so they're not able to open a bank account. And the PayPal, yes, you have PayPal, but again, there's some people can hack into your PayPal. Don't ask me how the people do that, but it's possible. With blockchain technology, you have tokens on your account. You open an account, you have the key, and the same thing. It's again, I'm going to repeat it because I know it's obnoxious. I know it drives me crazy myself. When I first tried the blockchain technology, when I first thought, I thought, whoever came up with it, I want to kill them. That was obnoxious. But at the same time, when I saw how safe it is and how secure my information is, how when I saw how it was, like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. And so I that's why I like it so much myself, because with this technology, like if you have tokens, which are money in this case, nobody can steal money from you then. If you have, like, let's say, I don't know, 5 tokens, can be I always think in US dollars. So I'm going to say one token can be like 1,000 and $1,000, and five token can be like $5,000 or $500,000. I don't care. As I said, I hate numbers. But let's just an example. These are your tokens, and nobody can steal it from you. Nobody. No cyber attack can happen because it's that secure. And that's why I
Wow.
support it, and ethical. And why it's ethical? Because blockchain is about transparency. You want to know where it's coming from, how it works. A lot of people say, yeah, this is how it works, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but even with blockchain still, you want to know how it works, because if you're using it, I mean, some people say, I don't want to know how, I don't know why, I just want to use it. Okay, but you want to know why it's safe. You want to know why your information is safe. I mean, even credit cards. Somebody can. There's so many people who have to. Some people have to make sure their credit card is safe for whatever reason. With blockchain technology, you don't have to worry about that. Your information is so safe, unless you give it to somebody information, nobody can touch it. No, not even nobody who does cybercrime can even touch it. So don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I have to close my account, or somebody stole my name, or you don't have to worry about that.
Wow.
and and yeah, and with blockchain technology, you also can make sure that you have electricity. You just pay for it. And I love the analogy one of our team members used when he was doing internship. He said he used the ambulance as an analogy. I love that because I was in the medical field. He said it's quicker than an ambulance. It brings the information. You put information to the blockchain technology, you put information to the computer, whether it's for medical purpose, it's a 1 second quicker than ambulance. An ambulance takes 45 minutes or whatever. And with this technology, within 1 second, you get the service that you need, whether it's medical or paying for electricity, just within 1 second. You don't have to worry. You put in information. There's a system in the blockchain technology that verifies that you are who you are. If you want to say, like, even if you want to say you're Jane Seymour, but your information says no, this is the wrong person, then the boss will immediately catch it. It means that, okay, who do you think you are? No, you can't open this. No. But with blockchain,
Wow.
and so it's so safe, whatever you need to do, and it's ethical, because we also use the gold for that, and people want transparency. Some people say, I don't care where the gold's coming from, but I just want to have the gold. That's fine. But there's some people who want to know that their gold is safe. They want to know, how did you get the gold? Who was in charge of it? Was there anybody injured? Did anybody, like, they have so many questions, and we can say nobody got injured. Everybody's safe. The family who was helping with this, they got food. They got a ceiling over their head. Everything is fine. That's why we care about ethics, because we want to make sure everything is transparent. Everything is transparent for the client.
That's really such a fascinating intersection, I can say, where science meets technology and the trust. So,
Yes.
coming back to our topic, as you are into saving the lives, so I would like to understand that as a global ambassador working with international organizations, how important is collaboration between governments, industries, and researchers to bring such innovations to the reality, like the thorium research you are doing?
Crucial. It's crucial. Seriously. If you don't have collaboration, nothing works. No. And I've seen this so many times. Collaboration to me means communication, transparency, cooperation, and I've seen so many times when those did not come together, and it was havoc. I attended different projects outside of the medical research that I did. I attended projects in the United States, um, outside of, no, I did not, outside of something that I used to be part of. And everybody would say, let's collaborate. There was barely any collaboration. I would talk to the people who were attending meetings that I was attending. There were government related meetings, and we were talking. But when I would say, okay, let's Senator so and so, let's collaborate, or legislator, let's do this, there's silence. Everybody was like, yeah, it was great talking to you. Let's have coffee sometime. but it was barely. There were very few senators who I worked with and said, "Okay, yes, yes, Dusy, yes, let's do this, or let's write this letter, let's put this legislation, let's write this letter to the president, let's do X, Y, and Z." Barely. And when there's no collaboration, when the medical profession, when scientists, when top medical people, when politicians, when they're not sitting at a table and saying, "Okay, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to write this legislation. I'm going to write this recommendation." A scientist said, "I'm going to collaborate with you. I'm going to explain. I'm going to give you the scientific an idea of this, so you can so you can incorporate that into your recommendation." And when another person says, "I'm going to write this, and I'm also going to offer this, so we can write the final proposal to the government, to the prime minister, whoever," and that's collaboration. You write this, and then whoever is like the chair of energy or the chair of medical, the case may be, they see that there's one politician, there's one top-notch scientist who writes articles everybody knows about. When at least three people on this paper say, Professor so and so, and this politician and this person, we all recommend this. We all recommend this because we believe that this idea will implement. If it's implemented, then we have a consumer friendly electricity. We will have people who we don't have to have concerns about apples. I mean, I don't want you to use political jargon, but when you write that proposal into the government, then okay, that's collaboration. They're writing this, and so okay, we have this politician. We know this politician. We know this scientist. They all work in collaboration. They want, okay, let's get this done. Let's get the funds. Let's pay for this. And we're gonna see which bank we should use for X, Y, and Z, and then they started without collab. That's why collaboration is crucial. Without collaboration, no. Otherwise, everybody seems to be living in their own world, and yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, but one single person. I mean, yes, every single person does something, but it's all as a unity. That's why collaboration is crucial. Yes,
Yes. And I can say that because real change always happens when people come together. And
absolutely.
looking ahead into the future, how close are we seeing thorium-based treatments being widely used in the hospitals around the world?
They are being used right now. It's not. I want to say it's still experimental, but they're already being implemented. And of course, again, it's international laws are implemented as well. There's some places in the United States are already implementing them, but they're not using the same as that I'm recommending. But they're using, they have collaboration with Bayer. It's a pharmaceutical company. They have collaborated with other companies. It's already experimental. It's working, but it's still there. But the part that I am referring to, that still has to be implemented. That still has to be saying, okay, let's try that first. Everybody's still thinking we can use tablets. I mean, I guess everybody loves tablets, right? Everybody, people take aspirin, so everybody wants to take a tablet. They can just put it in their mouth, but drink a glass of water. Never. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not always, it doesn't taste good, but it works. Well, so it's already implemented, but still, the part that I'm referring, it still has some way to go. But the thing is, it's about collaboration. So for me, for example, I already did the research. I already wrote a bunch of papers. I just have to like put everything into perspective. But for me personally, I just have to bring it into write the article, for example, publish it, and or bring it to my professor in Switzerland, and because I'm transferring everything to Switzerland right now, I'm still in the middle of it. And they just have to take all my information and say, okay, this sounds interesting. Let's just do one little tweak here, and then we can use it, and then we can publish it, and then talk to the hospitals, talk to the government, and implement that. But again, where collaboration comes in. But still, we still have a way to go. But honestly, from my point of view, it can happen within 10 or in 10 next 10 years from my point of view. Yeah, but it's really all about collaboration.
Okay. So I think that gives such a positive vision for what is coming next. So would also like to know that is there any possibility that you are trying for thorium treatments at India or any planning for collaboration at India level also? Have you tried something like that?
Absolutely, we are discussing with India, with Indian government right now, not necessarily about my research, but about nuclear energy in general. That's being implemented. That's being discussed right now. I'm talking to people who are talking to politicians, so that is definitely being done right now. Yes, doing proposals and other things
Wow,
like.
that's really great. So I think that we can also see such treatments in India also.
Yes, absolutely. That's the goal.
Great,
Make it available to make it accessible to everybody around the world, including India.
wonderful. And now, just slightly shifting to our personal journey, to your personal journey, what inspired you to work at such a unique intersection of science, sustainability, and real world impact?
Here's I want to first mention why EPRI. When I first started with the Thorium Network and then with EPRI, because EPRI, although EPRI focus on minerals processing, and I'm looking at it from an analogy perspective. When I started with EPRI, I started reading the entire website as well and researching what they were doing. And what they were doing, the nuclear energy can be extracted from the minerals, okay. And with EPRI, what they're doing is again, it's about saving lives and about using medical devices or improving medical devices, which again is something that I'm very passionate about because we should improve the medical. We should improve everything medical. And so when they're doing that, they're focusing on improving the world. They're focusing on improving the planet, making the planet a safer, cleaner place. And when they extract the minerals, they are using a technology that's very unique and very clean. And it's like trying, and like a lot of people say, you're trying to find a needle in a carpet. They can't find a needle in a carpet. And so when they're using that technology, I just think, okay, doing something unique, and they're saving the planet. And why I wanted to do all of that is I grew up in a family that focused on serving people, serving the public. It started with my great grandfather. He grew up in poverty. Poverty, and but he was the first in his family to go to university. That was the wish of my great great grandparents. They said we want at least one of our kids to go to university and have a better life than us. And so my great grandfather was the first person to go to university. He opened a boutique, then he opened a factory, and my great grandmother was helping him after they got married. And although everybody kept saying he has enough money, he could buy the whole city. He has enough money, he could buy the country. Like everybody kept saying he has enough money for do whatever he wants. And he said, I just want my children to be taken care of. I want them to be able to go to university. I want to take care of my grandchildren. That was his idea. And my great grandmother said, we have money, we have prestige, we have privilege. Our duty and responsibility is to serve the public. So our responsibility is to give back to the public, and that was her philosophy. That and so she would volunteer. My great grandfather didn't necessarily volunteer because he was busy with business, traveling around Europe in his days. But she would volunteer constantly. She was always helping in shelters, bringing beds or doing something. And my granduncles, I had six granduncles, and they also helped. They didn't necessarily volunteer, but uh, they were majority of them were some of them were lawyers, some of them were doctors, and one of them was a scientist. Was doing research in eye medicine, but their idea of I'm not sure if you can call it volunteer, but their idea was I want to help someone who cannot afford my treatments, or I want to help somebody who's not able to afford. Like some of them were lawyers. They said I want to help somebody who does not have money to pay me. I want to help them. If they have a case that needs that I read through it and I see, okay, this person needs my help, legally, they will help. Same thing with my uncles. If there was somebody who was struggling with a financial situation, is I'm going to help them. I can do that. My grandmother was the same thing. She loved music. She spoke. She was a polyglot. She would tutor students for free. She wouldn't ask them for money if they couldn't pay. That's fine. She saw a kid who was very talented. I want to help that. I want to help that kid. Someone would ask her, "Why are you not asking them for payment? Are they able to pay me?" There's no, but I don't need that payment. I don't need it. My grandfather, he was not really a volunteering person, which is fine, but he helped in the world of diplomacy. He wants to help people. My mother, she volunteered at a library. She went to the medical field. She also volunteered sometimes when she was asked. She would help somebody who was like there was a patient who had diabetes, and she would visit them once a week to help them with something. No, she didn't. She didn't ask for payments, but if they need help and I can help them. That was her philosophy. She launched the library before she got married. People there were still, even nowadays there are people who don't know how to read or can't read, so she would volunteer tutoring people who were learning to read. And my late father, he was not interested in volunteer. He tried volunteering, that was not for him, which is fine. And honestly, it was not expected of anybody of us, but it was just something that we just felt called to, if you will. And although I volunteered as a child, I would watch the grown-ups at soup shelters, but we stopped later on because my father was like, no, nothing. Okay. And I didn't really think about that I was going to ever volunteer, honestly. But then I would watch shows where there were Girl Scouts doing things, and that suddenly caught my attention. I thought, I want to try that. I was not allowed to be a Girl Scout. That's fine. Oh well, that happens. And so when I was an adult, I saw the Red Cross. I said, I want to try it. I don't know what I want to do with the Red Cross, but I want to try it. And so I started volunteering with the Red Cross. I started helping veterans. I got the Presidential Award. I helped people who lost homes and were having a family crisis because they lost home, like family member died because of a disaster or something happened. I helped the families with soldiers overseas, and I I took a break from the Red Cross for personal reasons, but I still wanted to do something. And so when I saw the Thorium Network and also the EPRI and Ornogo, like all those organizations, the Thorium Network is focused on helping people. Having nuclear energy, having electricity or medical isotopes to help people to medical isotopes, which is where my focus is, helping people so they can have a better life, so they can have an improved life. And with nuclear energy, also, you can have an improved life. You can have clean air. You don't have to worry about respiratory issues. And focus on the next generation. And the thing is, the president is not thinking, oh, well, if you pay me, let's say, 5,000, I mean, all these organizations are in Switzerland, so I'm going to switch now to Swiss francs. But the thing is, the president, the kind of the organization is not saying, oh, if you pay me 5 million Swiss francs, and I'm going to give you this. That's not how the Thorium Network works. Thorium Network is focused on partnerships, which I'm amazed about. I love that. I love the idea of partnerships because that means we're offering a partnership and we're helping you in the long run. It's not like, oh, yeah, you like going to the store to buy milk or bread and then, oh, you have to buy again milk or bread. No, this is a focus on the partnership because then you pay, let's say, 100, instead of paying 5 million, you're paying maybe a couple thousand, and you're not even paying. Like, you can get support from an organization that helps with funds, and say that's fine. They can get fund. They can get help from. They can get funds from an organization that helps with that. And so the idea that you can get funds, the partner you pay the part just pay for the partnership and just give and just get support efficient energy, which is not necessarily constant supply. It doesn't have to be. It can be a supply for the next 20 years, and then you'll be good. But if there's a piece broken from the power plant or something, you don't have to worry about. Oh, I have to buy this. I have to buy, and that's gonna be expensive. You don't have to worry about it. The Torm Network is focusing on that. You don't have to. No, we have a partnership. We're helping you. So if you have something broken, we supply it to you, and everything is going to go well. You don't have to worry about power out. You don't have to worry about that. And with the EPRI, the same thing. With EPRI, they focus on the partnership. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I don't have bread, I have to buy this, or don't have, no, you pay one time, and it is really in the cost is, I mean, the cost, the benefits outweigh the cost. Like you could pay, I don't even want to say how much, but you, like very, very little, but they provide a service, clean, sustainable service, extracting minerals that it's hard to detect for most laboratories around the world. And the idea is you can create you extract all of these minerals that you do not even know are in these minerals, and they can be used for medical devices. They can be used for cancer treatment. They can be used for anything necessary, and your country can actually improve financially and academically, and more jobs can be created. And seriously, we need more. I mean, we need more jobs. I mean, yes, we have AI, but AI cannot substitute a human being. And so you're creating more
Correct.
jobs. And the same thing with on the go, you create more jobs. You help families in the long run. And that's why I like it. It's very family oriented. It's very oriented on sustainability, on improving the lives. And although, I mean, I used to volunteer for the Thorium Network, but I became a team member. But and here and with the goal, I mean, serving as a Go ambassador, I'm a team member. But the thing is, for me personally, what I enjoy about is that you're serving humanity, you're serving the public. That's what stand out to me. It's not about, oh, you give me so and so money and I'm going to give it. No, that's not how they're doing it. Like we're offering a partnership, we're collaborating with you, we're helping you to help your country, and that's why for me that's crucial to me.
That's really wonderful, Dusya ma'am. And your path is such a truly inspiring for so many listeners who are watching us or who will be watching our recording. And yes, before going to the next question, Ms. Shalini Kumari, sister Shalini, has uh, liked your journey and she is so inspired with this. And she is asking that is there any side effects of the thorium-based medicine?
Not from my research. No, from thorium you don't get any because it's so clean. It's so clean. Seriously, the thorium molten salt. It's a lot of treatments are invasive. A lot of treatments. Tutorium is not. No, it's clean. You don't feel anything. Right? And I know, of course, with invasive medicine you feel something, but here it's clean. It's just clean. Honestly, it's just so clean. It's so healthy. I think healthy is the best word. I love the word healthy right now. It's so healthy that you could be there's no side effects. No, and that's why I love it. That's why I love it, because there's no side effects no matter what you do with the thorium. There's no side effect. It improves plants. It improves the livelihood of animals. It improves air. There's no it I want to say honestly, it collaborates with your body. It collaborates with your immune system.
That's really wonderful to know about this. And I'm sure if I've also saw that India is the highest uh, reservoir of the thorium.
Hmm.
And if India also uses that thorium, so I would love to know the future expansions. If whenever India is using these thorium-based medicines and using extensively in the whether it is farming or medical or anything. And yes, as your journey is like a very inspiring journey, so I'm definitely sure that there would be some of the challenges. So, what challenges have shaped you the most along the way?
Oh my goodness. I have to say, I was actually thinking about this conversation yesterday. I mean, not about this specific, but I was thinking about challenges, generally speaking. I was thinking about my life, and there's no, you can't really live about. There's no way to live a life without challenge. It's just part of life. I like to use the yin and yang, but like there has to be a balance. There is like there's days of joy. There are days of when you're upset. The challenges I face with these projects is mostly that finding people who say I want to collaborate. Like collaboration is crucial. I want to say that the most challenges I personally face is, and I don't really think is maybe, I mean, depending on how you look at it, but the most challenges I face mostly is when I talk to people and people say I don't agree with thorium, I don't agree with IPRI. That's not an issue to me. Honestly, you don't have to agree with it. It's fine. You can say, I don't never heard of it. This is crazy. Who you think you are? Blah blah blah. I have no issue with that. I have no issue because because when you hear something for the first time, you're thinking this is crazy. How can you even come up with that? I can be understand that. But the thing is, I look at this data, and as I mentioned, I hate math, so I hate data. But you can work around that. You see the data, you see the improvements. You can watch YouTube videos of what nuclear power plants do in some parts of the United States, which is amazing. They don't even notice the nuclear power plant there because they can just go to this. They just go to the market, buy their vegetables, and everything is fine. So they, for them, is nothing. But you look at the data and you see how much improvements you can have. And with equally the same, like whatever project you're focusing on, you can see the data. The data shows everything. The data is proof. You can say, I mean, I can even say I'm not sure, but I can look at the data, and the data speaks for itself. If the data says that in that particular country, the IPRI was able to improve hospital equipment, or was able to improve birth rate, or to improve birth, there's some hospital where mothers are giving birth, they're struggling because they don't have the medical equipment. If IPRI was able to help with that, I mean, what more can you want? I mean, that's to me that's to me data, and again, people say I don't believe this. I don't like. Doesn't. And I seriously, I had someone say to me, I don't trust this. Like I'm not forcing you to trust me. I'm definitely not forcing you to trust me. I don't force you to trust me. I don't force you trust what I say. Look at, you can seriously, everybody has Google it. Look at the results of the sign. Look at what it does. Okay, you can say, no, Dusya, I don't like what you say. You're young, you have no experience. Like, that's fine by me. Look at the results. I'm not telling you to trust me. Look at the results. Or you can say, oh, I don't like blah
Yes,
blah blah. Just look at the results. That's all you have to do.
correct. And yes, I can say that because those challenging moments often build us the strongest leaders. And
And
finally, yes,
oh, I just wanted to add also for my personal journey. I want to add anytime I do in my personal and I mentioned this previously, and I love mentioning this because to me it's true. When I'm talking to people, I also focus on the people who are receptive. So if you're willing to listen, that's all. If you want to do the challenge is when people are starting booing you out. But I personally focus on the people like, okay, tell me more about that. Tell me more. Educate me. That's my thing. Yeah.
yes, really wonderful. And finally, bringing all this together, if you had to describe your mission in one line, how would you express turning Earth into hope for humanity?
Oh my goodness. I am a person who doesn't really like to talk, although I talk a lot when I speak. Um, one word, how would I describe my journey?
One line.
I um, I'm an educator.
Great, great. So, ma'am, it was really wonderful talking to you and sharing your journey about your family, wonderful family, I can say, with great human values. your insights and your vision with us today. It was really inspiring and came to know a great about the thorium, which was lying underneath the beneath the earth, which we were not having the knowledge that it is such a powerful mineral for using as a medical isotopes for plants, for animals, or everyone. But your research has bring us a great hope for everyone, for all the cancer patients and everyone. And really, you are doing a really great work. And this conversation truly reminds us that innovation is not just about the advancement, it's about the intention, purpose, and creating a meaningful difference in people's life. And to the audience, thank you so much for joining us. And ma'am, it was really wonderful having you on my podcast platform. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your precious insights about your research, about your life, about your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much as well. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you so much. So, friends who are watching us, if today's conversation inspired you, made you reflect, or opened your mind to new possibilities, do share with someone who needs to hear this because Prerna spreading inspiration, we believe stories have the power to spark change and inspiration can truly transform lives. So, thank you for joining us. Stay inspired, stay connected. Thank you so much.